Hey guys, April the 30th here in Central Illinois, the most corrupt and bankrupt state in the Union. I'm bored beyond tears, so I thought I'd just do a quick video and show you what I've got as a few pipe dreams I want to work on. I think I told you in the last video that I was thinking about doing a beer car. Well, I finally got the label that literally drops right in here. So we're going to use this Ives box car, and I don't know what color scheme I'm going to have, but this is going to be the beer label I'm going to use, and I think it's going to be quite colorful. Who knows? Maybe I'll do it in a black and red motif. I'm not sure, but it's all about eye popping. I like the colors, so we'll see where that takes us. The other thing that I'm working on is this lovely 060 standard gauge switcher that I bought. This thing is an absolute hog, and I mean that in a good way. I got a slope back tender that somebody made, and I think I've showed you this before, but it's going to be painted black. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint it black like I did this one, and I used a semi-gloss. I see no reason to use super glossy paint with a Locomotive that is beyond semi-gloss. I don't even think a good rubbing out will make... The paint's good on this thing. It's just a little bit dirty. So I don't really want to remove a whole lot of patina from it. So that's what we're going to do with the slope back. Now, I haven't decided if I'm going to do the frame in red or I'm going to make it all black. But I'll most likely use this rubber stamp that I made. The nice thing about it is I won't have any rivets to contend with, and I may use the rubber stamp on this. That will fit the panel absolutely perfect on this beer car. Now, the other thing that I'm working on, I think I told you a little while back, is a steam dummy. And initially, I had bought those that one Pride Lights trolley I bought. That's what I was going to use for the body, except that it's too doggone good, runs too good, and I don't really want to cut it up. So if you know anything about steam dummies, normally they were put into, or they had a facade built around them as a passenger car or a trolley car, and some of them were just, they were just made to look like a regular freight car. I've seen a number of them that were in bodies like this. So what I've got here, what I think I'm going to do is, this is the ubiquitous 117 standard gauge Lionel caboose. I've used it on many, many projects. It's very adaptable. This 262 frame I've got will fit right in here. Of course, the smoke box will protrude out the front a little bit. This has got a boiler, or not a boiler, but what's the word I'm looking for? Anyhow, the back of the boiler is on this thing, and I will take the cab off. There won't be any cab. It will fit right in there. I believe I've got a 262 frame that I can mount it on. I'll have to see. If not, I've got a 262 drivetrain. I'll extend the wheels out. I'll probably then take the steam chests. I've got steam chests for this stuff. I'll split that steam chest in two, drill new holes, slide it out so it's at a standard gauge stance, bolt it to the body of the bottom of the car here. And in this case, while they were usually 040s, this one will be a 242. Now, I've seen steam dummies that were set up that way. So that's one of the things that I'm wanting to work on. I've never built a steam engine. The interurbans and some of the other stuff that I've done is easy to do. I've always found the steam engine to be a lot more complicated. So we're going to see whether I can get it done. Here again, this may be the first and the last time I mention it. So we'll see where it goes. The other thing I'm going to show you is some 1 gauge. Let me set this over here. The sad part of it is I use my doggone layout table as a workbench oftentimes, and I hate doing that. I'm always afraid I'm going to spill something on the artificial turf and stain it. I rolled over a cup of coffee when I first built this thing, but it didn't have any lasting effect. So what I'll show you is running 1 gauge. This is Bing and Markman on 5 gauge track, or 5 rail track. And you can see this has got spoon pickups, and you can see that that spoon just barely catches the 3rd rail and doesn't short out on the 2 outside on the O gauge rails. So this is a very forgiving engine. There's a lot of slop in its width on the wheels. The same way with the cars. The wheels move back and forth. You can't do this with every 1 gauge engine. Some of them are just the gauge is too tight for them. This locomotive happens to work just absolutely perfect. So, and I got to run it with the Z because it takes a lot of power to get this puppy cranked up. I'm kind of fond. I don't collect European 1 gauge anymore. I got too many other things that I like. I look for American outline if I'm going to collect any, so that I can run it with my Ives and some of the other Bing American outlines in 1 gauge. But this was an early attempt to expand my collection, and so let's just give it a quick spin around the layout and see how it works. It should work pretty good. Now I've did a video of this outfit before, but on the elevated, because I have 1 gauge track. Actually, it was standard gauge track that I converted to 1 gauge. But you got to admit, for track that isn't really supposed to be meant for 1 gauge, it runs doggone good. What I wish I could do is double gauge, standard gauge, and 1 gauge, but the tolerance is way too tight. Ah, the smell of that ozone. Anyhow, that's what we're up to, guys. Like I say, I got a lot of pipe dreams going on here, and I hope to accomplish a few of them. Yesterday, I spent all day in the doctor's office. It was just a regular checkup. They pulled my dipstick to see what type of oil I had, and everything seemed to be good, so I'm happy with that. I got another 6 months to live. You can't beat that. All right, guys. Have a good week. Stay out of trouble, and we'll talk with you later. Toodaloo.